Hello and what's up guys, welcome to another video, and this time we are recapping week number 2 of LFM. This time we are in Zolder and we qualified in the front row for this first race. Unfortunately it was cut short due to this particular incident wherein I was very wary of the Ferrari in the inside. I couldn't step on the throttle quite well, and now I'm understeering into the gravel trap, and with that being said, the McLaren just drove into me, and then the Bentley just decided to also drive through me without any hesitation. So looking at another point of view, Tony Tequila is the guy who started it all. So he sees me, drives into me, stops, and then karma did get to him rather quickly as another car crashed into him and rear-ended him. And then here is the Bentley, trying to make the most out of the incident. Unfortunately, I got in the way of his plans. There's nothing I could do there, to be fair. I was already spinning into the wall. But anyway, let's just get over that and go into race number 2. Wherein I am racing against people with more talent than me this time. Most of them. So going that turn number 1, we will go back to the incident for sure. But however, we did survive the first few melees. And now going into this fast right-hander, we have a Ford down the inside. Unfortunately, we had a better drive because he mounted the curve on that particular instance. So that Ford Mustang on the right-hand side is Hasevka in the background. And as we go into this first chicane, a random car appears. I think that's Rackstore. So we will unpack that after this few sequences here in lap number 1. So going to the second chicane now. Again, the goal here is just to make sure that we get the chicanes or just get the chicane without crashing. Because to be honest, the chicanes had been my kryptonite all throughout the week. I've crashed so many times on the chicanes during practice and also in the race. But anyways, lap number 1 is done. I was able to survive it, and we will unpack the incidents now. So here is Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia just goes into the back of the Bentley, and then there's Hasevka in the Ford, and then here is Rackster. I think he was very wary of the incident, and he veered to the right. He hit Hasevka, and also he hit that random Aston Martin. So fortunately that Aston Martin was there, because if not, he would have clouted the barriers early on, and he could have ended this race, or not ended. Maybe he could have had his steering wheel bent coming out of lap number 1, which is not ideal because you lose performance if the steering wheel is bent. However, going here into this first chicane, he will try to yeet it in the middle of these two cars. Hasevka just couldn't avoid Rackster. I feel like Rackster should have been more circumspect and use his brain a little bit, but unfortunately he didn't in that instance. But I deem that as a racing incident. Anyways, we have our first overtake here against Wolf, and we have Rosinski on the Bentley. Oh, it's rare to see Bentleys nowadays. Now going into this hairpin, I'll try to yeet it down the inside, but decided against it. We almost went into the back of Rosinski, but fortunately we were able to stop the car in time and not kill him. Okay, so here is the fight back coming from Wolf. Wolf really drove into the side of me. He tried to push me off, and I didn't appreciate it at that time. But it's just hard racing at the end of the day. Nothing nefarious about what he did. So coming into the first chicane now, I had a better drive coming out of that left right under, and into the first chicane I tried to fight back getting the position back. Unfortunately, that entering the chicane in a sharp manner did compromise my exit speed, hence he is now side by side going into the second chicane, and he completely outdone me around the outside. So the props to him, but Wolf is just way too fast for me. I think he can lap the 128s. I barely touched the 128s this time. And okay, this particular scene is called the Southeast Asian train because we have 2 Filipinos and 1 Malaysian battling for, I think, 10th place, no, 6th. But anyways, we are riding on board with Eric Garcia, and Raxter is in the middle. The guy who had so many incidents, and Raxter had this exit compromise because he rode the curbs quite aggressively. And that being said, Eric Garcia going side by side, going into the second chicane. Raxter tries to wave it around the outside. He cuts the chicane entirely. Contact being made, and that enabled me to run away into the sunset and keep my position. And these guys have been battling left, right, and center for several laps, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back for Raxter. He just basically drove into the gravel trap. I think he had a snap of oversteer, and then he had to correct it, and then Eric Garcia just flew past by him, and he never recovered from it because once Eric Garcia got in front, the pace that he had was already unleashed. Anyways, going into this final race number 3. Again, we're surviving here. Oh, there's another guy who got killed in the background. We will check that later. We will unpack that later for sure. But we are still here surviving against multiple people going into the first chicane now. I haven't really mastered this first chicane, but it's only in the last few races like this one that I came to understand how that chicane works. However, as we were talking about the first chicane, on the second chicane, I got outdone by the BMW. So he retook his position because I initially overtook him in the first few sequences. Anyways, we are now going into the hairpin now, which is very standard hairpin, no frills, just take it normally. I don't know, touch the curve less. So far a standard lap number 1, not much action happening apart from the guy who got yeeted into the gravel in the background, which we will unpack later. Yeah, I have a barren week, to be honest. I just couldn't get past people. Like, all I do, like 95% of the time, I'm just defending against most of the guys I'm racing with, as I'm doing it right now against Altensberg in the green Ferrari, who is ranked number 3 in this race. So I'm trying to hold him back here, but he is way too fast for me. So I couldn't hold him back. Now time to unpack this incident with Souza going into this right-hander. So okay, seems normal, but Sue just oh my god. Every time we need to leave space, guys. Always leave space. That's a reportable incident. If ever he finds the time, or if he has a lot of time, he could most certainly report that incident, but that's not our problem anyway. So as the old saying goes, better you than me. And on the other hand, going back to our race, we are trying to defend against Altensberg. I had a bad exit there, and now Altensberg had a better run than me. So he is now going side by side, going into the last chicane. He will outdo me, outperform me, going around the outside. What a move from Altensberg. So Here is another look at it. What a beautiful move coming from Altensburg, going into the last chicane. Thanks. Full send. Send it and lick the stamp, says Altensburg. And now, I think I forgot which lap this happened, but I just came across this incident. But here is Eric Garcia trying to push beyond his limits, almost clouting the barrier, and then loses control entirely, clouting the concrete barrier on the left hand side. Tries to accelerate, makes contact with Zoo, and then he got destroyed by a McLaren. I think that's not his fault. I think the McLaren is not paying attention to where he's going, because he was the first rejoin attempt was terrible. So here is the McLaren's POV, the blind person's POV. Okay, it's clear he's not paying attention. See, he took 5 business days to react to this, or did he even react at all? Okay, it did took him 5 business days to react. So if he's going to report this, he is STUPID. He is stupid if he ever tries to report this. Eric Garcia did nothing wrong. He was just not paying attention. Just simple. And he retired from the race shortly. I don't know, maybe he was so embarrassed about what happened, and he just retired. He just sends his car here and park it on the side on the grass, and decided to just go and join another race. But anyways, this was the battle of the whole race here, and the orange Porsche is Caceres. It's not that I got too lazy to edit, but I did forgot to put on headers, so I don't know the name of this white BMW. But anyways, let's go in and dive into the action here between the Caceres and this white BMW. Caceres putting pressure against them. Oh no, look at how he takes the chicane. He goes airborne through that second chicane, and he managed to hold it, and still look at this. He made a gap out of that. Okay, so that must be the technique. On the other hand, he did make a mistake there, and now Caceres is all over the back of him. Unfortunately for Caceres, he did touch the grass in the background. Now going into the hairpin, power on the exit. Altensburg is too far to challenge, so it's just mano y mano between Caceres and the white BMW. And again, Caceres is the orange Porsche, so he's still trying to put pressure here. He's again all over the back. He has them sniff here, but nothing much of a move there. Nothing materialized into turn number 1. It's just way too far behind. And a sensible move again. If that was a public lobby, that was our descent into turn number 1. But since people are, they're thinking more in this LFM races than in public lobbies, so things like that rarely occurs. Now going into the first chicane again, what will he do here? Basically again going airborne and gaining a lot of time out of it, and then going into second chicane now. This is easier to take. Okay, seems normal. And again, the Porsche has the advantage in the second chicane. Again, he's all over the back of Mr. BMW here. Caceres veers to the right. The white BMW tries to defend, forces him around the outside, gives him space. Props to him for giving space here. He's not out of the woods yet though. He's still defending going into the last chicane. Caceres has to move to the right and try to go around the outside. Unfortunately, nothing's going for him on this particular instance, hoping for mistakes. no mistakes had been done, and the BMW holds against Caceres. Okay, I now remembered his name. I guess his name is Noor. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one.